good morning. Thank you for staying with us on the Breakfast Club. And as promised, we are having breakfast with Matthias Gelber, and he is the greenest man on the planet, as promised earlier. Now you know it's Matthias Gelber. Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, Elaine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying myself here.
Excellent.
Next to you.
Oh, very good. Now you can tell us a little bit about what the greenest man on the planet really means. How did you get this title, greenest man on the planet?
Yeah, actually, greenest man on the planet. People or in Malaysia call me as well Mr. Hijau.
Mr. Hijau.
Mr. Hijau. Unfortunately, I didn't make the invitation to the wedding like Mr. Bean did.
Mr.
They didn't invite Mr.
You
Green.
didn't make the invite.
Yes, but maybe
Neither
next
did we.
time. Yeah, green. I think I won the contest because it was a combination of green practical living. I have an electricity bill of 25 ringgit a month.
Wow.
Electricity doesn't just come from the plug, it comes from the power plant. The more electricity we consume, the more emissions we as an individual are responsible for. I don't have a car.
You don't have a car? How do you live in Kuala Lumpur without a car?
Jalan-jalan, taxi, obviously. My plan is to buy an electric bicycle fairly soon. Then my business activities are all green. I have a green pension system.
Wow.
So basically I try and live holistically a green lifestyle, minimizing my personal environmental impact and maximizing the positive contribution that I can make on this planet.
Excellent.
You know, with our money we can invest in something that does good to the environment and at the same time provides a return. A lot of people have put their money into things that might be destructive to the environment.
Correct.
So my philosophy is everything must be green so that I'm an agent of positive change on the planet.
That's excellent. That's really good to hear. And this contest, it was organized by the Canadian body Third Whale.
Yes,
how did you hear about it?
Basically, I got an email asking me to apply for the contest.
Oh, wow.
They dubbed it American Idol for Green People.
How long have you been in this green process? Is it all your life? Have you been doing this for a long time?
I think when I grew up in my German kampung, I was surrounded by nature. I had snow in the winter, which is hardly there anymore nowadays.
Yes, because of the climate change.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the amazing thing is, it was 3 months of winter snow. Now my brother's children, they have, if they are lucky, 1 week. Or this year, they had loads of it in December and then it all disappeared. So the fluctuations are not clear anymore. Like here in Malaysia, people used to organize the plantation in the rubber industry according to the seasons. Now they cannot anymore.
Can't tell the seasons.
Yeah.
Even the weather is going a bit crazy. It rains and it's hot. It's a little bit odd. But tell us about Malaysia. How long have you been here, and what are your plans of going green? Because I think you always do green in all your efforts.
Yes. I've been here 6 years now. I originally came here under Malaysia, my second home.
Oh, okay.
And I think I still have a role to play in Malaysia. Let's see how long. Sometimes I get asked, how long do you want to stay in Malaysia? I don't know yet.
Yes.
I think, like yesterday, I was at 2 events. One great event in Klang. Sai Baba organized a Walk for Values. There were more than 5,000 people there. And I was the environmental speaker. I could reach out to the young generation and try and inspire them to live a green life and make a green contribution. At the same time, recently I've been asked to be a committee member of a new green NGO called PECA, which is about protecting the environment here in Malaysia. And the Sultanah of Pahang is our patron, and Tunku Kaisha is our president. So we have quite a lot of people that can make a difference, that are genuinely green and want to make a difference. And our plan is to gazette certain forest areas as royal forest reserves in order to help preserving that for future generations.
Yes,
so
I think that's great.
Yeah, so somehow I think I can make a contribution just by, being a simple German kampung boy in a foreign land as a guest here, chipping in with my ideas on how we can live green lives.
No, completely excellent, because as a Malaysian, it's very hard to start going green. As you can see, being a tree hugger is not easy, and wanting to make that effort is difficult because the facilities are not as conducive in Malaysia. So where do you think Malaysia stands on being or going towards the green effort? How can we further improve ourselves? How can we further achieve what some other countries have in terms of the recycling and going green effort?
Yes, I think Malaysia is kind of showing some promising ambition.
That's true, I agree.
And there's a lot of discussion about green technology, going green.
That's
There are a lot of green events, but I see a lot of people go to green events, they plant a tree. I organized a lot of tree planting events with some friends from Sai Baba, GEC, where we had up to 1,000 people turn up. But I wonder how many of them actually then the next day when they're back home, you know, implement it in their daily lives and go green. So
what do they do when they go home, right?
Yeah. That's where we need to make the difference. Plus, I think actually Malaysia as an economy has lived its economic growth based on Mother Nature's efforts.
Okay.
If you look at the Malaysian industry, it's oil and gas, it's timber, it's palm oil, it's tourism, rubber. It's all resource consumption based.
Correct, that's right.
So what Mother Nature has delivered over millions of years, we consume it in a short amount of time.
Yes.
It's helped the economic development.
But we're exhausting
it. We are exhausting it. And in the future, we need to make money from technology, from innovation. Green technology is being talked about, but so far I see the implementation on the ground not yet being pursued enough, because the Malaysian economy is kind of a short-term economy. People want fast money. Green technology, great opportunities, but it's not tomorrow big returns. And we need to change the economy from within. If people don't buy green buildings, then, you know, it might be difficult to offer green buildings to the marketplace. If we are not willing to put the money into green, then we can't change the economy from within. So we need to buy green, we need to live green, and we need to offer green solutions even on a business level.
That's right. But one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of people want to go green, think about going green, talk about going green, but, you know, can't really put the commitment about putting it into action. It's very hard, you know. It's like, I want to go green. Yes, I agree on this, but, you know, it's hard to actually commit how you've committed. No car, you know, don't use aircon, and, you know, all that efforts. It's really tough because we still want to be comfortable. We still want to take our nature for granted. To a certain extent. So now, how do we change that mindset? How do we, you know?
You're exactly right, Elaine. I think that is the biggest stumbling block, that people perceive it as difficult.
That's right.
And I think we need to look at where can we make a difference without, you know, pushing ourselves too hard and at the same time benefiting from it. It starts with your electricity at home. If you actually can save 20% of your electricity, you save 20% of the cost. I think Malaysians are very cost conscious.
That's right.
So if we can link those two things, you know, saving money by going green, rather than what is the perception at the moment, inconvenient and is going to cost you more. I mean, people have organic food. They know it's healthy. You know, people don't want to eat normal contaminated food. That's why they're willing to pay a little bit more. But I think we need to shift the perception. I've been in a condo the other day in Butterworth that actually cost the developer less to develop because it was using insulated concrete blocks, and the people who were living there, they didn't need air conditioning because the building itself was cool. So we need to use innovative solutions to promote green where it doesn't necessarily cost more, but there's a return from going green, and there is the convenience that you can live in your house. I actually talked with the residents there. They didn't even know that they had used insulated concrete blocks, and I asked them, how much is your electricity bill? They said, 70 ringgit. We have 2 fridges, but we don't need the air conditioning really because it's cool. In Penang we have a building as well, a condo, and it's so hot we need loads of air conditioning. So we need to shift that experience. You know, the kampung people in Malaysia, they had houses on stilts. When they came home it was cool without air conditioning. So we need to learn back again from, you know, the past, how people used to live with nature in a cost-effective way.
It's education at the end of the day, where, you know, we educate people in terms of what is good and what we need to also take responsibility for, because I think at the end of the day, there are still a lot of people who say that, you know, it doesn't affect me, you know, or I don't have children, or it doesn't matter, you know, we don't see the results now, or we don't see the effects now.
Actually, on that point, I totally agree with you. You know, people don't see it's relevant to them. It doesn't touch me yet. But Malaysia had its corals bleaching last year, and people were not allowed, maybe still are not allowed, to go into certain areas, and that's very important for the Malaysian economy. The diving tourism is very important. So corals are bleaching in Malaysia. Perlis and Kedah just lost their rice harvest. The government is talking about the cost of adaptation to climate change. Certain areas that haven't seen floods before have floods now because of construction activities, and the trees up on the hillsides where a lot of the water and the erosion might come from are not there anymore because we didn't appreciate the value that the trees delivered by actually capturing the water, holding the soil together. So the indirect cost of environmental degradation for Malaysia is huge. The taxpayer is paying huge amounts of money on putting that right again. Malacca recently, to clean up the Malacca River, paid 800 million ringgit.
800 million.
So the fact that we are not preventing the pollution at source is costing the economy huge amounts of money. I mean, compare Singapore, Clarke Quay, Boat Quay. The businesses that are there are making loads of money through their asset value because everybody wants to sit in a restaurant there. What about the Klang River?
Correct.
It ain't happening. No. So we need to spend billions to clean it up.
That's right. And like you said, it takes 800 million to clean up the Malacca River. The 800 million could have gone into research into green technologies, which the government is promoting. The Prime Minister is giving tax relief for green technology. It's about time that we change our mindset, isn't it?
And another thing is energy efficiency. I mean, we have subsidized electricity. That's one of the barriers. And I think, again, taxpayer pays it indirectly themselves.
Correct.
I actually think we need to increase prices for electricity. Otherwise, Malaysia is never going to get efficient. Malaysia is never going. Water as well. But we need to help those that can't afford it through other means. I definitely agree with that. But if Malaysia doesn't become energy efficient, its economy is going to lag behind. Neighbors are implementing more energy efficiency measures because they have a shorter ROI, because their electricity is much more expensive. This will downgrade the competitiveness of the country.
Correct. I think at the end of the day, Malaysia needs to stand up and listen and hear that it's time for us to do something. I mean, just the last question before we wrap. Any advice for Malaysians on how to go green?
Yeah. Reduce your electricity bill, reduce your water bill, try and become carbon neutral. All your environmental impacts, you can compensate them by planting trees, become a carbon sink, meaning to say, if you absorb more CO2 emissions, that's the main global warming gas, then you're responsible for, then you are an environmental ambassador. If you save electricity, you can save money at the same time. Implement recycling. We did it in our condo in Changkat Chulan, and we helped the cleaners to get more makan money.
Wow.
We tripled the recycling rate just by putting up simple bins. Raise the awareness, think about the future. You can be a positive agent of change, make a positive contribution for the future generations.
There you go. And if you want to find out more about what Matthias does, you can go to www.greenmanspeaks.com, or you can search for Matthias on Facebook. It's Matthias Gelber, Matthias Gelber. And you can do a very simple contribution, like wearing a t-shirt that's made of recycled material, which is what Matthias is wearing today. It's actually made of plastic bottles, right?
Yes, plastic bottles. And even though I was told not to wear green, this is my green t-shirt, but it looks black.
It's his hijau t-shirt. So there you go. You can make an effort. You can make a stand. That's all the time we have. Thank you, Matthias, for sharing all your tips. And Malaysia, we can go green.
Malaysia boleh.
Malaysia boleh. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks,
Bye.
Elaine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very good for you to share with us. Do you...